I want to get to these strikes because we got Kaiser, the UAW, and Waffle House is striking. Kaiser, the UAW, and Waffle House is striking. Let's get into it, y'all. I'm going to be reading these super chats shortly. Thank you for supporting the platform. I love you guys. Let's get into these strikes across the United States of America.
Hey, Kaiser, you get hot? We can see your pretty side. This morning, a big union is turning up the heat on Kaiser Permanente, the country's largest not-for-profit healthcare provider. Tens of thousands of workers walking off the job for 3 days as contract talks stall. From Virginia,
these people got into healthcare because they wanted to take care of patients, and they're just stretched too thin.
To Denver,
everybody's getting depressed. Everybody's quitting because they can't handle it. You know, it's just a lot of work.
Actually, we're going to tap into the Ben Shapiro conversation last. I'm going to pivot one other story that I was going to do. So we just going to tackle these strikes real quick, and then we're going to pivot into the Ben Shapiro conversation tomorrow. I mean, pivot into a different conversation tomorrow for one of the things that I'm going to save.
No.
We are here because they have been dealing with a short staffing crisis caused by Kaiser executives for months, if not years.
On strike, pharmacists, optometrists, vocational nurses, x-ray and lab technicians demanding more pay to offset inflation and more staff.
So let's back that up for a minute. On strike are pharmacists, optometrists,
x-ray and
vocational nurses, and x-ray and lab technicians. Somebody said they heard Blue Cross Blue Shield is on strike too. Blue Cross Blue Shield is here in Michigan. Pharmacists, optometrists, vocational nurses, x-ray and lab technicians, all of these people. Actually, I heard that it's like over 75,000 people from Kaiser that's on a 3-day strike because they want more money.
Lab technicians demanding more pay to offset inflation and more staff.
So there's this thing that's happening all across America. Is this a Me Too movement? Remember when all of the women was accusing men from back in the day of doing stuff, but we had no evidence to actually substantiate that it actually happened. So we just went by their word and we was convicting people based off of the court of public opinion. That's similar to what's happening right now. People are striking all across America because they're in a Me Too movement. You know what the funniest thing about this whole thing is? I didn't see anybody striking during the pandemic. Everybody was happy. Everybody was happy. Everybody was in a good space. They was working from home. They was playing video games. They couldn't get to you know what I'm saying? They couldn't get to their computer desk in time in order to run up the bag and get to their meeting. And they was waking up with sleep in their eyes. And we seen people getting fired and laid off because one guy couldn't wait to get off the meeting. He thought he closed out the camera and he was going over there to get his lotion so he can rub one out. Remember all of that was happening? Now everybody back to work and everybody trying to strike at the same time.
They say Kaiser patients, 13 million of them, can sometimes wait months for a primary care appointment and hours waiting in an ER.
People are just plain worn out. COVID was a nightmare for 3 years ago, and we're still not done.
You know what I seen 3 years ago, 2 years ago? Nurses was over here making TikToks. They had videos on the internet about how much money they was getting and how many bags that they was getting. They said that they was going to live in places for free. Traveling nurses, they was buying whole cars, cash, and all of that. Everybody was balling just a second ago. Now everybody burnt out, and they want more money.
Done.
Most doctors and RNs are not on strike.
We're committed to addressing the
Getting
staffing
that bag.
crisis, but we're equally committed to addressing the affordability crisis, and that's the issue that's at the table.
Kaiser says hospitals and ERs will remain open during the strike, but some elective procedures may be postponed.
It was just heartbreaking to get the news yesterday that it's been canceled when it was already rescheduled once.
Tiffany Young's 17-month-old son, Caden, was supposed to have tubes placed in his ears today to relieve chronic ear infections and severe pain. Now that's been postponed until December.
He's just in pain, and it's horrible to see him. And I know like it's a minor surgery, but to a parent and seeing your baby hit his ears and crying, it's heartbreaking.
You want this whole thing to get resolved. So this is a 3-day strike, Tom. Yeah. So is there any chance we may see another wave of walkouts if they don't get to a deal soon?
I think so. I mean, listen, the union is saying that this 3-day strike is really a demonstration of strength to show Kaiser that the union is, in fact, united. And they say if they don't reach an agreement by sometime in November, they could call a longer strike, potentially 10 days, that would really have an effect as well on patients and staff and the hospitals.
Yeah.
So basically, they holding the company hostage for whatever the reason is. The union, in order to make sure that they acknowledge the fact that they want more money and they want more staff to continue to push and help them be able to service patients better. Okay, cool. I'm with you. Let's see what happens. Let's play it out from there. Let's get more information before we make an informed decision. Let's pivot for a minute, right? Let's pivot. So you had Kaiser, and then we all familiar with what's going on with the UAW, right? UAW, Ford is now rolling out more layoffs because they're saying that it's the UAW's fault. We don't have parts. We can't supply. General Motors is digging in. They then opened up a line of credit. They said, all right, cool. We got a line of credit just in case we start to dig in. And then more importantly, they got sometimes a 90 to 150-day supply of cars that they can sell on the company lots because they were prepared for this, right? But one of the things that I wanted to show y'all is the sentiment of the people. Because it's very easy to say that you should or stand in line or all of this other type of stuff, right? But when you start to approach the 20-day mark, when you start to approach that 1-month mark, when you start to approach those 30 days, and you only got that strike pay, it started to get a little bit of dicey out here. Let's see what the sentiment of the people that's striking over at the UAW front line is doing.
With the negotiations still ongoing and the strikers now getting only strike pay, many of them telling WTOL 11 that they might be looking for a second job to pay the...
Not a second job. Not the second one. Hold on. Let's have it.
Bills.
Christy Gerlach hit the picket line again to talk to workers today. Christy, what are they telling you?
Yes, Melissa, Jeff, they said they need that second job. In fact, some people were already working a second job before the strike even happened just to make ends meet. Take a listen to their stories.
Michael Mahoney has been working at the Toledo Assembly Complex for more than 15 years. With 3 teenagers at home and now receiving only $500 a week from strike pay, he's been vigorously looking for a side job.
I have an interview at 3:30 today.
Hey, homie said I got an interview at 3:30 today. Soon as I leave this picket line, because I got to be able to get my strike pay, I need this bag. I got 3 teenagers at home. I've been having me a lot of sex, and I got to figure out how to make these ends meet because it's a little dicey out here.
And I might have one at the end of the week.
Oh, so you have multiple interviews this week?
Oh, yes. I'm looking hard. Yes.
Roxanne Stedfeld is already working another job through DoorDash, but now she's looking for a second job.
DoorDash, you know, it's hit or miss with DoorDash when you get paid with them. So I want something more stable, something that I know what I got coming in.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, and somebody educate me, because I know we got a lot of UAW members in here and they're more educated about this than I am. Somebody give me some insight. When you go get a second job, doesn't that then go against what you're supposed to be getting from a strike pay perspective? I'm looking forward to seeing this woman with her UAW strong shirt delivering my DoorDash this afternoon. As a matter of fact, let me get me some DoorDash. What we ordering today? Detroit 7-5 Kitchen? Huh? What we doing today? What kind of DoorDash we got today, ladies and gentlemen? What we rocking with? I want my DoorDash hot. And do not be late. Do not be late. I have never given anything less than a 5-star review to my driver. But please do not be late with my DoorDash. Let's see what's going on. See, it's getting tight out here. See, everybody got the you know what I'm saying, moving with the speed of an Olympic sprinter when they first get it started. But then when they didn't know it was going to be going for 20 days, they're like, wait a minute, we 3 weeks in. I'm starting to miss a couple of paychecks. I'm starting to miss a paycheck. It's getting tough out here. Single mamas. I see that man in the back with them Crocs on and them you know what I'm saying, them shorts on with that cut-off sleeve T-shirt.
Joshua Bondi has 4 kids. His youngest is just 8 months old. He posted on Facebook offering.
So he's still having sex, huh? He's still having sex. He got 4 kids and he got an 8-month-old.
His services to power wash people's homes.
With everything going on right now, the family's taking a big hit and everything, so we're trying to just pull in a little extra money to keep afloat while the big 3 hopefully.
Nope, I'm on strike too. I'm on strike just like you on strike. I don't need no services. I don't need no power washing. I don't need no DoorDash. As a matter of fact, I don't even think I'm about to order no DoorDash because I'm on strike like you on strike. And so since you on strike, I'm on strike because I got to make sure that I'm protecting myself too. You know what I'm saying? Look. Don't ask to be power washing nothing. You gotta own this. You gotta own this. If you really believe, listen, if y'all really believe in what y'all doing, you're gonna have to go 100% in. You gotta go all in. You got to go all in. If this is what you standing for, then be willing to lose your home for it. You ain't willing to lose your car? You ain't willing to forego man's tuition? What about that trip that you got planned for the Christmas? Hey, had that conversation. Hey, Christmas is going to be a little bit tight this year, ladies and gentlemen. Christmas is going to be a little bit tight this year. We ain't got it. Me and mama ain't got it. And we just had a newborn, and we got 4 kids. Even though they didn't tell us we had to have another kid, y'all was still having kids even though you felt like you couldn't survive. Own it. Go all the way in. All the way in. Get to it.
Caves in, gives us what we're looking for.
Bondi has had his side business prior to the strike because he still needed the extra cash with his normal pay.
With the bigger family, it just takes a lot more to keep up to par where we need to be.
So as the negotiations between the UAW and the Big 3 continue, the strikers on the line say they're going to do the best they can to get by.
I shouldn't have to jiggle stuff around to make my bills. I should be able to work one job and be able to pay my bills and live comfortably.
Nobody told y'all to have kids, extra kids. Nobody told y'all to, listen. I'm with it. I'm 100% with y'all. I support my UAW members, especially ones that's a part of the Millionaire Morning Show. I support y'all. I roll with y'all. I grind with y'all. I hustle with y'all. I believe in y'all cause. But at the same time, it's tough for all of us out here. I can't afford for no I can't swing it. I can't be out here giving you my money because what if I decide to strike on my job? I got to prepare myself for a strike just in case I want to strike some striking. You know what I'm saying? Look, so this is what's happening at the UAW. Kaiser is over there. They doing their thing. And then it's infecting everybody, even Waffle House. The people at Waffle House want $25 an hour. Some locations 30, depending on location, depending on if they're on the West Coast or not. Listen, when I seen Waffle House say we want $25 an hour, I said, y'all just all part of the Me Too movement, huh? Listen, I'm not making this up. Hear it out of their own mouths.
All right, $25 an hour to work at Waffle House and serve waffles and grits and eggs. That's what some employees want.
And other demands include 24/7 security, an end to meal deductions. They want free food while they're on the job. And there have been protests in Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina. But Waffle House says that relatively few of
Oh, man. Everybody striking. I'm sorry. No. We not gonna do that. Y'all not gonna sit here and try to devalue the value that they have because they should be able to get a working wage, a living wage. They should only have to work one job. What makes the UAW any better than the Waffle House employees? What makes Kaiser any better than the UAW? We should have it standard across the board. No, don't look at them. Don't look down on them and say, no, just because you making waffles, they feeding the American people. Why shouldn't they have job security and cost of living expenses go up and free food? Why shouldn't they be able to afford their food and get free food along with it? Don't sit here and hold them accountable and look down on them. So y'all want us to stand with y'all, but y'all don't want. I can't even hold it in. Oh man, no, don't look down on Waffle House. Don't look down on the Waffle House people. We need them too.
Those individuals seen protesting are actual employees of
They're
theirs.
bad actors.
I guess.
Waffle House bad actors.
Hey, shout out to the black lady that's calling it out. The black lady on there says, man, I'm not going for this nonsense.
Our press reporter Lydia Moynihan joins us now. Whoever's protesting, they really do want free food.
Yeah, what a conspiracy, though. I don't know where they would get these people in. You're busing people in to protest on your behalf. I've got to imagine, though, if you were a worker and you're looking at the major concessions that some of these other unions like UPS, like the Writers Union, have been able to extract, you got to think it's worth a shot. And it's interesting, obviously, the wages that they're requesting are a pretty steep increase from what a lot of people are making now. Right now, the highest person there is making about $17. That's for their rock star chefs.
$17 an hour for the Waffle House people. That's wild. I'm having a hard time. Honestly, I'm having a hard time. I got 15, 5, 10, 15, 16. I got $16 right here. Real talk. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money for flipping some eggs, fam.
But it is interesting that they're basically requesting something we talk a lot about on the show, which is crime. They want 24-hour surveillance and security, and it's interesting to see how that's sort of impacting every part of the economy.
I think a lot of people also probably surprised to hear that they just can't get hash browns for free while they're on the job. You know, on their morning shift.
A little side of biscuits and gravy for real.
I mean, are you guys Waffle House fans?
I mean, I lived off of it. That and Taco Cabana when I lived in Fort Worth, Texas.
I went to a pancake house here, not Waffle House. But yeah, I love Waffle House.
Yeah, shout out to the Pancake House. Shout out to O-Hop. A lot of y'all not familiar with O-Hop. Pancake House slap. She probably talking about the international hop, IHOP. O-Hop is where it is. A lot of y'all not familiar with O-Hop. If you over there in Dallas, you over here in Michigan, Original Pancake House, 3 locations. Hey, I'm not going to say that too much because they're not paying me for this. But shout out to O-Hop.
The Dallas-Fort Worth area you never went? No, but I just went to the Pancake House. I'm all for breakfast,
Original
gravy.
Pancake House is amazing.
Bring it on. But like
Original Pancake House slap. Shout out to everybody that got a Big Apple. A lot of y'all not familiar with it. This may not be in your city, but if you have never visited an Original Pancake House, don't talk to me about no IHOP. Don't talk to me about no Waffle House. You missing out, fam.
Get free food, Lydia. Come on.
You know what? You make a great point. I think they might play this clip in some of the union meetings. It's a pretty reasonable request. If you're making all this food, that you should have some access to it.
I think it's fair.
$25 an hour is significant. California actually just passed a law that will eventually put a $20 wage for fast food workers in California.
Okay, so wait. I wasn't familiar with this. California just recently passed a law that is giving a minimum of $20 an hour to workers, fast food workers? Is that true? That can't be right. No way. Let me replay that one more time.
California actually just passed a law that will eventually put a $20 wage for fast food workers in California.
Do you got a tip too? Because every time that I go into a space, they always hit me with the, oh, you got to decline the tip part, or they got a tip jar somewhere. So you telling me that these people going to be making $20 an hour? $20 an hour to flip burgers? Come on, fam. No way. I don't believe it. No way, no how, impossible. $20 an hour? No wonder they shutting all of y'all stuff down. No wonder they shutting all. Listen, you know what's going to happen? You know what's going to happen? First, they're going to pass that cost over to the consumer. You're still not going to be able to live because inflation is going to go up even more. And then the last thing that's going to happen is that companies are going to continue to innovate. When you drive up to the drive-thru, it's going to be AI taking your order. When you go into the inside, ain't going to be no people in there. It's going to be all kiosks. And it's going to be one person running everything inside of that place. It's going to be one person running everything inside of that place. I'm telling you. People just innovated themselves right over, you know what I'm saying? And here's the other part about it. Migrants is going to be working. Migrants is now working too. Yep. $20 an hour.
That hasn't been implemented yet, so it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out.
I don't think Waffle House
sustainable.
Workers. No, they're not going to get 25. You know why? Because the cost of living in the places where you go to Waffle House ain't that high.
Yeah.
If they ain't making $25 in California, they ain't going to make it in Louisiana or Mississippi.
Another thing we talk about too is all of the artificial intelligence and the robots that are coming in as well. So that's happening at the same time.
Yeah.
And that
automation.
impacts things as well.
Listen, y'all just going to innovate yourselves and protest yourselves right on out of a job. That's what's going to happen with these automakers.